What's up, fam? I'm your host, Jack Settleman. Join me today, and as always, is my co-host and longtime best friend, Abe Granoff. We're back in the stew. Is it just the stew, or is it studio?
It's a stew.
Studio. All right. What is on your mind today?
What is on my mind? God damn it, do I love being in this damn studio.
It's nice,
It just feels real, right? It feels like I'm actually on a show. Not that we haven't been for the last... How many fucking years we've been doing this?
400 episodes.
400 episodes, all because of you guys. What's on my mind today? Speaking of you guys and speaking of you, you do a lot of video game content. You know, now you're engaged. You have this big apartment. You've got a lot of responsibilities. I, fortunately, unfortunately, don't have that many responsibilities. And I am the new proud co-owner, and by co-owner, I mean uncle, to an Xbox. And I haven't owned an Xbox in...
Oh, you bought an Xbox?
Not with my money.
No. But
Yeah, no, we have an Xbox in my apartment now.
didn't have one?
We had one that didn't work.
Oh, I have an extra. If you
Pillow's going to be pissed.
What's the return policy on that?
We'll check it out.
Yeah.
So we got an Xbox, and we downloaded PGA. My roommate downloaded Harry Potter. I don't play that shit.
Okay.
He can play with Jamal. And we downloaded MLB The Show. I'm thinking there's some content to come from here. Either you want my Abe's Road to the Show, you want Abe's Road to the Tour. I think the tour would have to be a 18 plus because I'm gonna talk on the mic the same way I do on the golf course, which is a lot of profanity, beers, and hot dogs.
We're gonna have to fix that too.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, do you want me to make video game content for you?
Sorry. I got off course there. Pun intended. No, I started blocking you out there. No disrespect to you.
No, I definitely understand.
Because I just got, for the first time, a little bit depressed about the
being engaged, having children, and not being able to play video games and just watch sports and do nothing.
I'll never have a roommate ever again until maybe I have a kid.
Something might go wrong.
Yeah, it's not a lock. It's not a lock. Nothing's a lock. But yeah, I'll never have a roommate I can play video games with.
Well, here's the thing. So I downloaded like all the games. I'm playing these video games. I play video games my entire life. Xbox at heart. That's my console. Always sports games. And like I download these games and what the fuck happened to video games? They're so hard. They're so complicated. It took me 30 minutes, not because I'm dumb, but because of how the game is structured, to turn the game on to where I'm actually swinging a golf club and playing.
Yeah,
Why can't I log on
anymore? No.
do play now, pick a golfer, play 9?
Yeah, you can't do that.
Holy shit. It takes an hour. And then they make you practice. Practice? It's a video game. We talk about practice?
I know. The video game is supposed to be literally the practice. But yeah, I still miss it. I mean, look, I literally built a mini video game studio to invite my brother over so that I could play video games with someone. But now that you're back on the sticks, maybe
it's
you can
hard.
Get involved.
It's really hard and it's frustrating. And I might get online.
So you got this last night, right?
Yeah.
Are you like craving it tonight?
No.
Okay. That's interesting.
I bogeyed the 6th hole and I said, I'm going to bed. Fuck this.
Interesting. Okay. All right.
I actually, what I've noticed last night in playing video games for the first time in God knows how many years is my attention span for them is not what it used to be.
Is that like you don't want to play like the road to the show or like the franchise mode? Like you just want to play because here, let's use Madden because I think most people know Madden. Your game options in Madden are this.
It's also golf. So my attention span if is going to be
But
tough.
right now, if we put Madden on the screen, we could play Madden 1v1. Just quick game. But if I didn't have anyone to play with, I could go online. But the online like quick games are really bad. The only other option is Ultimate Team. And if you, or whatever it's called, you build the little teams. Once you go in those team modes, it's like it takes 4 hours, $400 to get, and it takes forever.
So we were talking about getting FIFA because we love FIFA.
Yeah.
And I said to him, I was like, I want FIFA, but I want my FIFA, not this hard shit.
Yeah.
So we tried to download FIFA 15, and it's not available for Xbox One.
Oh, man. All right, well.
We wanted to buy all the old games, like when we were playing, where 4 verticals A would hit, NHL, the one-timers, and automatic goal.
But that stuff does get old in a minute.
Not when you're winning.
If you're just playing against your friend.
Well, we have money on it.
Yeah, that can make
Betting
sense.
doesn't get old, brother.
That is for sure. Well, you know who doesn't have money at the current moment?
Who, Jack?
Lamar Jackson, the baby goat, or the retired ex-baby goat. Lamar Jackson receives the non-exclusive franchise tag from the Baltimore Ravens. What's my reaction?
Well, for those listening, the non-exclusive franchise tag is essentially the equivalent of in the NBA becoming a restricted free agent,
Yes.
where Lamar Jackson can go and negotiate on his behalf because he literally has no representation to other teams, and then he can agree to a deal with them, but the Ravens have the opportunity to match.
So in a non-basketball analogy, I like to say it's as if me and my girlfriend broke up and we're on a break and we can go see other people in an open relationship. The plan is still to get back together at some point in the future. But, you know, if I find another girl...
It is quite possibly the biggest cuck of the week that we've ever had, which we'll talk about later.
Yes.
But there's been a lot of talk. This is weird. It's weird what's going on. Name me a time in NFL history where there's been there's never been a unanimous MVP before Lamar.
Correct.
So that's the first time ever. Who couldn't make it past the first contract with his team without having a major injury on his.
Yeah.
Like he has.
Well, people are using the injury as
Sure,
as
but I'm talking about a Carson Wentz torn ACL, a Dak Prescott shattered leg,
yeah.
whatever the hell it was. What's going on in Baltimore is weird, and what the Ravens are essentially saying to Lamar is we are not agreeing on your market value, right? You think to yourself that you are worth what Deshaun Watson got, which he's worth more than that, but that contract was an anomaly. So what the Ravens are saying to Lamar is go find out yourself what you're worth. And hey, maybe we're wrong, right? Maybe we're wrong and you are worth what you're asking, but go find out yourself and then we'll see. And then we'll see because there's a disagreement there and just pay him $200 million and get it over with.
The non-exclusive tag, in theory, lets you find your true market value if it's fair market. And that we'll talk about.
Conspiracy talk,
That
baby.
we'll talk about. Before we get to that, let's discuss the actual processes, where I'm at in my headspace. I actually get it. Like I think the Ravens played it the right way in terms of trying
business.
In terms of like strictly business. But I also think business has to counter like with relationship. Like 100%. That should be right.
Like you're never gonna, I mean, take the joke out of it because you could easily spin a joke out of this. There's a difference between the intern's worth and an aspect of him being your brother.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like as simple as that. Like you're not gonna tear down your relationship with your brother over Super Madden Bros.
Well, no, that's a good point. Like, what if my brother came to me and was like, "Hey, I want a huge raise, right? A raise." So I would have to tell him, like,
maybe hit a fucking 2-teamer then.
Right, hit a bet. But what if he came reasonably and said, "Hey, I've done X, Y, and Z." In Lamar's case, winning an unanimous MVP. In Casey's case, flew 34 times in the span of 3 months, right? Like, and he was like, "I think I deserve this." I probably wouldn't let him test the open market, and I would pay the premium. Hopefully he doesn't. I know he doesn't listen to the podcast, so he'll never use this as leverage. But I think that it's worth mending the relationship because there's other factors involved. But the Ravens did the right thing from a business perspective if it were to be a fair market. Now, let's talk about what currently isn't happening. A fair market.
Wait, but I want to say something about the relationship aspect real point because a lot of people are making this into a big deal. So what the Ravens are saying is you have two options, Lamar Jackson. Either you want to play for another team and we forbid you from that because we have the option to bring you back, or we pay below what you wanted. Yeah. Either way, the relationship is fractured. But what I will say...
I don't know if I agree with that.
But here's what I'm going with this, and you'll agree with this. That's all bullshit. Once you sign pen to paper and he takes the field, who gives a fuck what his relationship with Eric DeCosta is? He's not going to go out there and throw football games because he got 160 versus 220.
I agree.
Like that's where the relationship. Now there's other aspects of him being happy in his next contract, and if he has a slight injury, does he hold out and hold it against the team? That maybe. But I think we all agree that Lamar, maybe up until the end of last year, just wants to play football.
I think he wants to win. I think he doesn't want to be in Baltimore anymore. And so
it is cold.
Now you have an interesting situation where he just doesn't want to be there. So even though the Ravens theoretically have full control over him, if he signs that contract, could he sit out? Like, could he just not play until they trade him? I don't know what I really
think anyone can hold out ever.
But I assume you don't get paid in that event.
That's Ben Simmons.
Yeah, he got paid. So anyways, I don't love the way the Ravens went around it. I get why it happened. Now, on the collusion thing, everyone smart I've talked to is like 100% collusion. Now, that doesn't mean there's a paper trail. That doesn't mean Lamar Jackson's going to win a lawsuit against the NFL owners. These people are going to get what they want. But it is crappy to see it play out like this because I would like to know what's Lamar Jackson's true market value, right? Like,
what are the owners and the GMs colluding about? Are they colluding and saying,
guaranteed money?
Hey, Browns, you fucked us.
Yeah.
Never again are we giving fully guaranteed contracts.
Yeah. They're shooting down that idea because the next contract after Lamar is Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow. And if
Jalen will get paid this offseason.
Not like those
50,
two. Not like
50 a year.
those two.
50 a year.
But not like those two guaranteed. Not like those two guaranteed. And that's what they're shooting down is we don't want to give out $200 million guaranteed money to anyone. We want it to be 150, 160 at the most. And so they pretty much said because do you know why? Do you know how the function actually happens with guaranteed money?
Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm asking you. I'm not trying to like show you up. It
seemed a slight
no,
bit
if
facetious.
you knew it, I thought we were gonna have anyways.
Yeah, guaranteed means you're guaranteed to get this shit.
But why wouldn't the owners want to do that? And it's for this reason. When the deal happens, the owner has to put that money in an escrow account.
Oh, the billionaires have to put in 1% of their wealth in an escrow
it's
account?
not 1% of their wealth. If it's $200 million, they have to, and they have $2 billion. That's 10% of their not liquid worth of their net worth potentially. So if this happens, right, and you're a team like the Raiders, the Raiders didn't fire Josh McDaniels because they didn't have enough cash for the buyout.
I respect that.
There's things that go beyond the salary cap. So the owners are like, we cannot have this happen. Like Patrick Mahomes' contract is extremely unique. He'll probably make the full $500 million, but but a lot of it did not cost their ownership group a lot up front in cash. So anyways, that's why they're shutting it down. They want to get out ahead of it. Herbert, Burrow, Hurts, then Trevor Lawrence the year after, and they just didn't want contracts like that. So I think it's 100% collusion, and it's a shame because I think Lamar Jackson could have corrected the market in a fair market. Like I think there's a team out there desperate enough to pay that, but it's interesting to see none of the teams wanting to do it.
It's stupid as fuck that none of these teams are wanting to do it. And I actually think while it might be collusion, it's also cap. I'm sorry. What was the list of the teams that came out that were out on him?
The Atlanta Falcons.
Okay.
The Miami Dolphins.
Eagleson, how many days has it been?
We'll find out in a couple of minutes here. The Houston Texans are out. The Chicago Bears are out. The New York Jets are out. Teams who have never won. By the way, this is the cheapest you could ever get a franchise quarterback in the history of the league.
That's the point. Tomorrow the price goes up. Friday the price goes up. Saturday the price goes up. Is Lamar's only bargaining power like the Watson contract?
Well, now I do think in this whole shit,
because he does have a leg to stand on, like where he can say, I'm better than him.
Yeah.
He makes X.
Well, okay. So I think it's more so compared to like, look at, is he better than Kyler Murray? Yes. Okay. So he should make more, like he should be top 3 or 4 paid quarterback in the league, relative to the guys who haven't gotten signed yet. And I think the one thing that has hurt him as an agent, right, is
as his own agent,
not having an agent. It's not the negotiations. Like I don't necessarily think that things would be super different here. It's that the PR stuff. It's that the narrative around Lamar is that like people are just
no shit because all the reporters get their info from the agents.
But I'm even talking about like how general people are evaluating him. Now, the stuff I see all over the internet is the playoff stats all of a sudden, the passing yards per game. Like, all this stuff can be finagled. Like, at the end of the day, he's 45-16 as a starter.
What stats? The fact that he's 1-3 starting the playoffs with 4 touchdowns, 7 giveaways, 68% passer rating. The Ravens have scored an average amount of points of 13 in those starts. 2 losses came at home and unavailable down the stretch due to injury in 21-22.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. You can put the stats however you want.
Wait, no, but what order would you have put them where none of these stats would be true?
So like a stat that I would include there would be like 500 total yards in a playoff game, right?
Right.
Which is
like the amount that Brady had in a Super Bowl loss.
Which was quite an impressive performance, right? So 500.
Never made $230 million because of it.
500 total yards in a playoff game with their team having 7 drops. The other stat that could probably be involved there is that Kenneth Dixon was the leading receiver in a playoff game, right? In that one win, you could also make a stat where it was a come from behind victory. So like, there's all these different angles, and even like
That's weird. It doesn't say in this tweet there was a come from behind victory.
Exactly. That's my point. He's lost a lot. So maybe he did need an agent. I still am in the camp of it feels like they kind of picked. The timing worked out. The injury worked out for the owners to use this as an example. And this was owners versus NFLPA, because the NFLPA came out and even said something along the lines of like, we want Lamar to get the most guaranteed. He should get we're helping him, all this stuff.
Should. What?
And yeah, I think.
Listen, at the end of the day, like, who's ever better than the next guy doesn't matter. The next quarterback up who's franchise believe that's the guy, he's going to be the highest paid quarterback in football.
Exactly.
If you went down the list of starting quarterbacks in the NFL that at one point in their career was there a tweet that they're the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, you would make a poverty list of quarterbacks. That list would include probably Jared Goff. It would include Kirk Cousins. It would include Dak Prescott. It would include Carson Wentz. At some point, all of those guys, for a split second, whether it was a week, a year, whatever, they had the highest contract. And that's just what it is. The price yesterday.
And Lamar's actually good. So
right, exactly. Lamar's actually like,
you want to know my
1-3 in the
frustration
playoffs.
with all this is I don't know if it's like a Ravens thing. It can't be. I don't think the Ravens occupy that much real estate. I actually almost want to see Lamar go somewhere else because I think he's going to be.
Stop.
No, genuinely. I would be okay. I'm so curious if the hate towards Lamar and the narrative.
I think you just surround yourself with it so much.
No,
I don't think there's as much hate as you think.
You just read the entire stat on.
Well, that's just a stat guy.
I'm saying if he was playing somewhere else, would people be more excited to watch him? Or maybe this is just the internet nowadays. People are just on people's cases. So, anyways, Lamar Jackson, not exclusive tag.
So let's just say, what do you think is to come of this? What's the end result?
My prediction, if I had to make one, would be that he ends up back with the Ravens. And we got a good OC. We hired a bunch of Eagles coaches.
Maybe Alan Lazard comes through and he has his number one
Lazard's
guy.
Nipples come through. I think that the Ravens would still be good next year. It's just this whole process has been like deflating. It's been very deflating. To see then all the players coming out about how awful the strength and conditioning staff is and how they treat injuries and all this stuff. It's bad. It's really bad. But who knows?
You're not a poverty franchise, but you're acting poverty.
We're acting like it. We are acting like it. Now, to give him 230 guaranteed might have been Pav as well. But should we have overpaid him? I think to keep your franchise quarterback, I think so.
Think about that 230 as a chess move, though. Chess move, 230 for Lamar. Joe, what's Joe Burrow in your own division get?
Bengals wouldn't do it. They would not pay. That's what
like I would genuinely, if I was a team, poison pill the Ravens.
I agree.
Like, why wouldn't you put an offer sheet in front of him that's so ridiculous that he's not going to accept?
Well, because I think then the Ravens get what they want. I think the Ravens are okay.
You think they're okay with letting him walk?
Yeah.
That is bonkers.
Yeah.
Fucking nuts.
And because we're not talking, even as much shit as you give and the stats, it's like you can acknowledge this is one of the top quarterbacks in football.
Yeah, it's one of the top 10 quarterbacks in football.
Right. Like you can't just
5 to 10.
You can't just let this guy
like they
walk.
think these fuckers grow up.
No, but okay. Instead of
in
ranking,
what position are the Falcons, Panthers, Browns, Jets
bullshit
in a position to say, you know what? Quarterbacks grow on trees. We'll get one.
Hold on. It's not.
We're good at developing quarterbacks.
That they're just not even interested in talking to him. Like you don't even want to have a conversation, find out.
How does that work? Like Lamar represents himself. If they just have his personal cell?
Yeah, they're like, hey, Lamar, we actually don't want to talk to you.
I would love to see the behind the scenes with Lamar negotiating on behalf of himself.
I don't think that.
Also, like he should be willing to be a little bit cheaper on this.
Yeah.
Because he's not paying agent fees.
Yeah, about
Like
2%.
Watson's 230 is the equivalent to like 220.
I don't think it's a money thing. It's got to be a money thing. I don't know.
What do you mean
bro,
it's not a money
bro,
thing?
Dead ass though, like give me 150, give me 180. I'm good.
What is the difference in your lifestyle
don't
and your generations that come after you
You're
between
good.
being 150 and 230?
You're good. 80 million. I mean, that's 50% different.
What is their... Yeah, good math. Good math. Just checking
All
that
right,
out.
let's move along. Let's make fun of someone else. Who do you want to go to first? Saints or Giants?
Saints.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Oh, you said Saints or Giants.
Yeah.
Saints.
Okay.
Saints. Let's start with the Saints.
Are the Saints contenders because they signed Derek Carr?
Are the Colts contenders because they signed Matt Ryan last year?
How good was I on the Matt Ryan stuff?
Yeah,
that's probably my best
That
call
was
ever,
nice.
right?
That was nice. This New Orleans Saints, I think, have anointed themselves as the least self-aware organization in all of sports. At what point are you going to tear it down?
Yeah, just let
It's
it go.
fucking nuts.
Let
You're
it
trading
go.
your first round picks away to the Eagles. You're bringing in. You're doing what the Colts have tried to do in the last 4 years, and just plug and playing a veteran quarterback and hoping he returns to his true form. And that's just not the case.
You know, it's scary hours when the Twitter nerds start getting into the numbers and they're like, actually, Andy Dalton was as good as Derek Carr last year. Like, yeah, I don't know what type of move this is. Like, what are we doing? I get that it's a weak division, so maybe you talk yourself into it, but it just feels like you're holding on to something that's not going to happen.
Right? It's like we are the Drew Brees Saints still, and it's like at some point you got to let go, and they just haven't. They're paying guys, they are giving away draft picks, they're plugging in veteran quarterbacks. It's like your roster isn't that good. It's not. And what did they come out to be? 4
They're
for
like
160?
top 5 defense. No, that was Jones.
3 for 150?
3. No, he didn't get 50. At 3 for 105, I want to say.
No way.
Yeah.
He got 150.
No.
4 for 150.
Oh my God.
4 for 150.
But no one's interested in Lamar Jackson. No one. No.
He's 31 years old, Derek Carr.
No one wants Lamar, but Derek Carr, come on down.
Derek Carr, these teams are rolling out the fucking red carpet for him. He's doing a free agency tour.
It's crazy.
Derek Carr's free agency tour is the equivalent of Paul Pierce's retirement tour.
It's tragic.
No one gives a
literally
fuck.
tragic.
Nobody gives a fuck. And listen, you're going in a division with Kyle Trask, CJ Stroud, and Lamar Jackson. Like, they have a chance
Fuck off.
in the NFC South to make it a run. But like,
To what? Make what run? Get
here's
to
what
10 and
the Saints
7?
won 7 games last year.
Yeah.
What do they think Derek Carr is going
Right.
to
Is he
do?
plus 6 wins? I
No.
don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
You got Kamara, who might be in jail for this season.
All right, let's go back to the Jets because I did skip over them. The New York City is on fire right now, and New Jersey,
In a good way or a bad way?
In a good way. You've got the Knicks, who are hot. You got Mikal Bridges is better than Kevin Durant. Who would have knew? The Rangers. I've talked about this before, but now you got 2 quarterbacks in New York potentially. Aaron Rodgers
And who?
to the Jets and Danny Dimes for the New York Giants. Let's start with Rodgers. I don't get why they wouldn't be interested in Lamar Jackson.
The Jets?
Yeah.
They probably are. I'm so fucking
It sounds
sick
like a
of
done
Aaron Rodgers,
it sounds like a
dude.
done deal though.
It feels like Brett Favre all
Yeah.
over again.
Yeah.
And it's just look yourself in the mirror as a Jets fan, as someone who watches the Jets, and be like, is it going to work out the way that it should? The way that we think it will? Newsflash, it never fucking has. And it never probably will. That's how I view this Jets move. Rodgers is fun. It's a name. It's New York. Rodgers versus the New York media is going to be the best matchup that you'll see all year out of the Jets. We're talking as if he's going there.
Yeah.
I don't trust this guy as far
I
as I
think
can
he's
throw
there.
him.
I think he's there.
I am starting to think he goes back to Green Bay.
That would be so
I'm starting to
bad.
think he goes back to Green Bay. But
The Jets are the most bet team to win the Super Bowl. on this pending news.
The Jets and the Lions.
Yeah, I just
Those are going to be our teams this year.
Oh my God. What are we doing, people? Let me make something clear. I'm going to say it straight into the camera. The Jets are not an Aaron Rodgers away from the Super Bowl. Do not get
that
it twisted.
was the narrative that was painted last year. The Jets are a quarterback away.
From what? From making the playoffs, not from going.
People think getting in the playoffs is like the equivalent of going to the like. It's fucking hard to win in the playoffs. Ask Lamar.
Very hard. Very hard. I mean, he wins quarter of the time, 25%. That's not bad. That's not bad.
That gets you in the Hall of Fame in MLB.
Speaking of teams who are addicted to the first round of the postseason, let's get a round of applause for the New York Football Giants.
They're addicted?
Yeah, they're locked into the first round for the next.
I guess heroin, like you can do it once and get addicted.
No, like that. Sorry, that's their addiction. Whether or not they're getting their score is getting.
Wait. What makes you think that the Giants are now a lock to make the playoffs?
I'm more so saying they're a lock to not go past that round or the second round.
So their ceiling is making the playoffs.
Yeah, pretty much. I guess they won a playoff game last year. You beat Kirk Cousins.
It's a lot of fucking dimes for Danny Dimes.
It is a lot.
$40 million a year.
How many dimes is that?
Oh, brother.
Abe, no. Do not look that up on the calculator. Abe.
What's 40 million times 10? Nope.
Are you serious?
40 million times divided by 0.1.
Oh my God.
That's right.
Oh my God. That's the same thing as times 10. Holy shit. You really aren't the math guy here.
Well, mentally.
Before you do it, can I walk you through it?
There's 10
this
dimes.
I'm going to be snobby about.
There's 10 dimes in a dollar.
Yeah.
And there's $400 million.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't it be times?
It's just times 10.
So why were you giving me shit?
Because
that was quick too. You should have just moved on.
You were
this
like
is bad content.
You were like very.
Yeah, it's called checking your work.
All right, so 400 million dimes this man got. No, that's a good tweet, by the way. We should code tweet that. Danny Dimes signs or Daniel Jones.
Why should we code tweet it? Because I said it and because you have followers.
Yeah. Don't you want exposure?
Yeah, but like. Should be mine. You should just retweet it.
I can do that. So Danny Dimes, 400 million dimes in his pocket, and a year. Sorry, for
$400 million.
160. Actually, 1.6 billion dimes.
I almost said 160 billion. All right,
we're back. So he got paid. That's good for him. And Saquon got tagged.
This was a shocker. This was a shocker for me. I really thought that. I actually thought the Giants were taking on being a good organization for a little while, and they were going to tag Dimes and let Saquon hit the open market. You know what? Tagging Saquon doesn't really do that much. It's a $10 million hit for 1 year. As long as you don't sign him after, that's fine. Best running back in football when healthy, but just don't sign him after. And the Giants, they gave Dable all this credit for Coach of the Year for hyping up Danny Dimes and making the most out of a shitty quarterback. Then they paid that shitty quarterback. It's like, what were you going to do?
All I heard from Giants fans is the worst roster in football. Okay, so now you just dedicated $50 million a year to your running back and your running quarterback. So how's that roster getting better?
It's not.
I just don't understand, and I guess we'll get into it with ranked. So will the Giants make the playoffs this season?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not. They inched in last year. We'll talk about on Internet Graphic. The QBs in the NFC are trash for the most part.
Yeah.
But Danny Dimes is a part of that trash.
Yeah, he is.
He just is. And I've just there's this thing where it's like, okay, if you can't get an elite quarterback, you should blow it up. Mm-hmm. I genuinely believe that. Mm-hmm. I genuinely think if you're not in the running for a top 5 quarterback, if the guy you draft doesn't become the guy, start over. Mm-hmm. I always think that. But you can't just throw in the towel if you're an NFL GM. There has to be a middle market of QBs, and that's where I just categorize poverty. I would rather be like the Panthers than I would the Giants or the Saints. I
agree. That's why I would have just tagged Danny Dimes.
100%. Well, you
find out what
give
you
him
have.
Your option last year.
Find out what you have. Find out what you have, and if after a second year and you get him his weapons, you're so convinced he's the guy, then you know what? Enjoy your Danny Dimes. But I promise you, he's not.
I am thrilled that Danny Dimes is staying with the Giants as an Eagles fan. I'll put it that way. I think he should have got more. I think he proved a lot this year.
What the hell internet graphic of the week, or once Abe comes up with a better name for it, is the NFC starting quarterbacks projected for next season. Here we go. NFC East, Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, Daniel Jones, Sam Howell. Jeez. NFC South, Derek Carr, PJ Walker, Kyle Trask, Desmond Ridder. NFC North, Jordan Love, Justin Fields, Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff. That's really the division of death. And then NFC West, Brock Purdy, Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo, or Tom Brady, Joe Montana, who knows? Geno Smith, Matthew Stafford, and Kyler Murray, who isn't going to play for the first 8 weeks. I actually liked the other one better because it had him ranked, and it had Stafford ranked as the #1 quarterback, according to Colin Cowherd. Look, I am all-time hater. You're Hall of Fame hater.
Thank you.
I mean, not putting Jalen 1, I respect it because it's incredible hatred, and it's also not reactionary.
Did you just tell me Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback in the NFC?
I'm saying,
I'm asking you.
Is he the best quarterback in the NFC?
Out of all the quarterbacks,
healthy?
here we go.
Am I getting fully healthy? Is that the implication? Like Matt Stafford's fully healthy?
Out of all the quarterbacks that you just read, fully healthy going into next season.
Jared Goff's the best on that list.
You're trolling.
No, he is.
Why?
He's over his entire career. He's the best quarterback.
Why?
What do you mean?
He was healthy last year. He didn't make the playoffs.
Whoa. That is not how you evaluate quarterback play, is it?
You don't judge it off last year?
No, I'm saying off just making the playoffs. The Eagles have.
Oh, Derek Carr is a fucking great move for the Saints historically because he had a great career.
No, he didn't. He stinks.
What do you mean? He went 13-4 one year, 13-3.
I'm saying the wins. That's not how I'm evaluating.
If you don't think Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback going into the NFC next year, then you're just ignorant and you're wrong, or you're Colin Cowherd. With that being said,
what do you expect from Hurts next year? Because you know it can only go in one direction, right?
We're going back to the Super Bowl.
That's fine, but you know it can only really go in one direction. Like that was his peak season.
Well, that's not true because where did he rank in the MVP rankings? If he got third, like there's room.
Right, but
second or first?
No, he got second.
Did he get second?
Yeah.
So there's room.
So, but it's an unlikely outcome.
So you're predicting the Jalen Hurts regression, similar to the Josh Allen a few years
I'm just saying, I've seen it before. So just expect, they got more game tape out. He's injury prone. Remember, he got hurt at the end of last season. His arm strength is down. Remember his throw at the end of the Super Bowl. So I'm just saying. It
is a good time if you're a fan of a team in the NFC and you can convince yourself that your team has a chance.
I mean, you do. Wow. But Stafford's team stinks. They're selling.
Let's go back to
Cowboys are like the best team in the NFC again. What the heck's going on over here?
All right. Let's go division by division. Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, Daniel Jones, Sam Howell. Mm-hmm. If you're which team's fan base can convince themselves, that doesn't mean it's not irrational, that they have a chance to come out of the NFC.
The top three there.
The Giants as well.
Yeah, they can convince themselves for sure.
Why?
Dude, they were a game away.
Their wide receiver 1 is a man by the name of Isaiah Hodgins.
That's right now, but they still got a whole bro. They draft fucking Zay Flowers, and you don't think that this city's gonna
NFC South, Derek Carr, PJ Walker, Kyle Trask, Desmond Ridder, the Saints.
The Saints will talk themselves into it.
NFC North, Packers with Love, Bears with Fields, Vikings with Kirk, Jared Goff at the Lions. I think
all four.
Wow.
I think all four you can.
You think the Bears fans are looking and saying,
let's start at the bottom.
We have Jalen Hurts again?
Let's start at the bottom. Jared Goff and the Lions are the hottest team this offseason. Cousins, if you pick up like one defensive player, you won 13 games, so that's easy. Justin Fields, the $100 million in cap space, right? Makes the leap. He's got an O-line.
Jalen Hurts this year.
Yeah, that whole thing. And then Jordan Love, you've seen very many flashes, but you've seen flashes. And so as a fan base, you're like, we have our guy. We have a franchise quarterback. So NFC West, obviously the Niners are in it. I don't think the Seahawks can do that. I don't think they can talk themselves into it. Depending on what parts are left for Stafford, I would imagine that's not within question. And then the Cardinals are dead too. So the Niners might be like minus 200 to win the NFC West when the season starts next year.
More maybe.
Yeah, they're going to be pretty heavy favorites. More so than any other NFC team, I would imagine. All right, let's hop into ranked. So in the theme of Lamar Jackson being exclusively tagged, I believe this is why Eagleson created ranked like this. The most we are ranking the most brain dead things that an NFL team, the most mind-boggling moves in sports ranked. All right, you begin.
Paying a running back. Third. Easy. I'm not going to go into a long rant about it. I've talked about it before. Build your offensive line. Put any Joe Schmo behind there. Make a hole. Go through it. Okay. Simple as that. Go through Super Bowl champions. See how much the running back one was making historically. It's comical. You pay a running back. You fuck your franchise. Simple as that.
So you wouldn't pay Jalen Hurts?
Really, 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 really funny.
Okay.
So wait.
So now
you want to know?
Wait. So now you kind of get why I never laughed at those.
Well, no, one went to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but also one carried the ball 20 times in that Super Bowl.
Speaking and threw for 300 yards. Speaking and lost. Fuck. Speaking of running back jokes, I saw like possibly it's like Steelers Muse or something or Pickens Muse.
Yeah.
The best troll account. One of the easiest low-hanging fruit nicknames that I've never used, I'm so mad about, is Lamar B.
Oh, that's
the GOAT.
That's very common.
L with a lowercase AMA, capital RB. Hysterical. Yeah. But yeah, you pay a running back, you screw your franchise.
Okay, so number 3 is being a fan of a brain-dead organization. So what is the most mind-boggling move in sports? It's being a fan of a brain-dead org. If this pops into your head and you're like, is my team? It is. If you're like, is that me? It's you. Meaning like.
I just was like, is that me in the Sixers?
No, you're not a brain dead org. You're like a cursed, like funny org to the rest of us, but you're not brain dead. Like Daryl Morey is one of the smartest minds in basketball. Paying a running back, that's a brain dead org. So if you snap into poverty and joke org, that's mind-boggling. Now, number 2, most mind-boggling move in sports, playing for mediocrity. Now, look, you got to put food on the table. You got to feed your family.
Talk about punting in overtime with a minute left.
Yeah, you just need to just shoot for the stars unless you're just trying to cash that check consistently. So if you're the Giants GM, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to just make this move because it gives me a little stability over the next couple of years. That's fine. Only if you're the GM. But, like, come on. Play for the championship. No one remembers good orgs unless they win the Super Bowl. That's it. No one gives a shit about Dan Marino. No one.
Wow. I agree. My second, this is not necessarily mind-boggling, but more so impressive. Yeah. Could you imagine devoting your life to trying to become a professional athlete at a sport, being the top at that sport, and not being able to, or willing to do the most important thing in that sport? Like growing up and wanting to play basketball in the NBA, but never attempting to shoot a basketball, a jump shot, is fucking mind-boggling to me. And I'm looking right at the camera.
PJ Tucker.
That's why the Brooklyn Nets are going to shut you down, Ben Simmons. We reported it.
He is getting shut down.
We reported it. We're standing by it. Shams, Jacques Vaughn, you're a cuck. We're shutting Ben Simmons down. It's mind-boggling how he can be in the NBA, make $150 million to me, and not shoot a basketball.
And you're not talking about PJ Tucker?
He shoots.
Does he?
Just doesn't go in.
Like 3 times a game?
Something like that.
Yeah. Okay. What's your number 1?
My number 1 is choosing to root for poverty. I'm looking right at you, Andrew Eagleson. You have no geographical affiliation with the city of Miami, the state of Florida. You live in fucking Canada. And you choose to root for a team that hasn't won a playoff game in 8,100 days. People realize that, like, it doesn't like say on your birth certificate what sport affiliation team you have to root for.
Yeah.
Like you can choose that. Mm-hmm. And there are people out there who choose to be fans of the Dolphins, who choose to be fans of the Cleveland Browns, who choose to be fans of the Washington Wizards, who choose to be fans of the Baltimore Orioles, and no disrespect. But it's just you can pick. You can pick.
So what about me and the Knicks?
That's financials.
Okay.
And just geographically,
Okay.
it wouldn't make sense to buy season tickets for a team that you don't live near.
Right. Like
It was either that or Brooklyn.
Right.
And you're not going to choose Brooklyn.
Right. They're a joke.
They're poverty.
Mikal Bridges is better than Kevin Durant and more available. Definitely more available. The number one most mind-boggling thing in sports is when you do something so wrong and make a decision so poorly that everyone knows. So what that could mean is trading for someone like Rudy Gobert, where literally everyone was like, what?
That contract gets funnier and funnier, or that trade gets funnier by the day.
And I want to distinguish between the trade for Russell Wilson and the Broncos, because people might be like, 2020 vision, but that's not what I'm talking about. In the moment, people are like, all right, they're trading for
they could win this division.
Yeah, which, by the way, you know what my thing next year is going to be? I'm all in.
On the Broncos?
Oh,
You're back on Russ?
Oh, yeah. He's got, it's a mental thing. It's his whole mindset. The Sean Payton thing.
You know what? Say it with me, Broncos country.
That's right. I'm telling you, they're gonna be a hot thing. Now they're still in a division where they're probably the third best team, but that's for a later date. So trading for someone very obviously who sucks. Like, it's not even like Gobert's good. Like, he clearly stinks. Ben Simmons falls in that category, but people like Russell Wilson or like Westbrook, even, like, it wasn't clear until it happened. So that's something just doing dumb, or like not going for it when it's like everyone in the world's like, you got to go for it.
Celtics fans not wanting to trade Jaylen Brown for Kevin Durant.
That one's a little tougher.
Still dumb as shit.
Yeah. But we did say D White would end up in that trade, and in that case, maybe the Celtics lose it. If it was Smart and Brown,
we would be going to every Brooklyn game for free.
I know. But who cares? No one wants to go to that.
Good
Although
food.
I guess I'm going tomorrow. All right. What do we have left here? Don't we have one more thing? Oh,
Cuck of the week.
Cuck of the week. We need like a song for it.
We'll get it.
We got to get some soundtracks in here. All right. Cuck of the week is Lamar Jackson.
I think it's the Ravens.
See, I disagree.
No, they quite literally is. They're watching their wife go out and fuck other teams just for them to come back and fuck in the end.
So I think I hear you. And that's what our initial reaction is. I'm spinning this to say Lamar is actually the cuck here because he got played. He got played bad. The Ravens made the calls. They knew that what was going to go down. And Lamar is being used as the poster boy for, you need an agent. Don't ask for that much money. Don't do these types of things. And, the owners made an example of it. And so he got, he got fucked.
My cuck of the week goes to Big Kendrick Perkins. My man is spitting on it. First take has been
garbage.
He's garbage. You think?
Garbage. Perkins?
Yeah.
You don't like him. No.
I think he's entertaining as fuck.
No.
You don't find him entertaining?
No. I think it's some of the worst content analysis. I think
I don't care about I'm saying from an entertainment standpoint. It's an entertainment
It's so
show.
bad that it's no longer entertaining me. I'm gonna say something to ESPN right now. Figure it out, because
put JJ Redick in more positions.
100%. You devalue yourself as the worldwide leader in sports every time Kendrick Perkins takes the stand.
I'm not that much of a hater, but the reason I'm saying Kendrick Perkins is the cuck of the week, if you haven't seen the clip with JJ Redick and Kendrick Perkins going at it, first off, there's always those moments on these talk shows where it becomes real and it gets a little awkward, like with Shannon and Skip a month or two back. And then with JJ and Kendrick Perkins this time around, where Kendrick Perkins pretty much implied that Nikola Jokic is winning these consecutive MVPs because there's a racial bias by the voters. Fucking bullshit. He omitted, and I'm not going to get down the race path of everything, like, that's not what it is. It's just plain up.
You'll sit here and admit that Jokic is the MVP.
No, I won't. No, I absolutely
You did
won't.
off camera.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. What I said was his biggest argument
no,
to be the MVP.
You said that Jokic
no,
was
I didn't, asshole.
So Jokic isn't
Don't
the
spin
MVP.
what I said. No, he's not. Well, he's going to win it, but he's not the MVP.
Stop.
Anyway, Kendrick Perkins, if you go back at the end of that clip, JJ Redick is calling him out for implying that voters had a racial bias in the MVP voting. Kendrick Perkins responds by going, I didn't, as JJ Redick is talking. JJ Redick continues to go on, and then Kendrick Perkins is saying he did not say those things.
Literally said, I did not say
And in the same breath, got so angry with JJ Redick, screamed, It's facts. It's facts. It's facts. So did you say it or did you not? And is it true or is it not? The backpedaling that was going on, watching live when a Stephen A or a Shannon or a Skip or any of these guys, when they put somebody in a blender and they're getting embarrassed on live television, like you realize you're holding an L, it is like crack to me to watch. Watching someone get embarrassed on a take in national TV. And I think Kendrick Perkins played it the right way. Just was all over the place. That's all you can be. Be loud, be all over the place. But, I mean, JJ Redick absolutely bodied you.
Yeah.
And then I didn't watch today, but I saw a clip that Kendrick Perkins put out where he said, I'm coming for your Elvis Presley looking ass to JJ Redick. And I didn't watch it.
It was a few days ago. He posted on TikTok calling people out. I think he's a lame.
Why? What do you hate so much about him?
Because he's like...
There really isn't a sportscaster in sports that like really gets on, other than the Sixers broadcasters on their home network.
No, I wouldn't say like I spend much time thinking about him, but I don't follow him because I just don't think anything he says is valuable. Like he has predicted that every single team in the East this year would be the Eastern Conference champions. You saw the one funny tweet, which I guess RIP was, he was like, I'm dealing with the death in the family, but man, are those Knicks good. Like,
oh, that was hilarious.
Like
last night he tweeted 39 points in 28 minutes. That's what Joel, in quotes, the Philly, Embiid had tonight. That's not his nickname. You just made that up.
Yeah.
The Philly?
He's trying to make everything about him.
What does that have to do with him?
Like he's trying to make a nickname for him.
He actually put it in quotes as if it's a thing and capitalized both of them and said the Philly. Thanks, but not his name, brother.
Definitely not his nickname. He's the process because the process always fails. All right. Yeah.
The process worked.
No.
Yeah, it did.
It was a failure.
Process worked. The results didn't.
Right.
Hasn't.
Therefore, the process.
The goal of the process was to accumulate all of these picks and then get cap space and then draft. They just took Ben Simmons and Markelle Fultz.
So you would think that then you would be more understanding of analytics.
Why?
Because analytics are all focused on process, not result. And so if you're
the jury's still out. Until Joel Embiid leaves Philadelphia, which is like 4 months away, the jury's still out.
It feels like
if the Sixers win a championship this year, hell freezes over. Make your jokes. The process worked. If Joel Embiid wins a championship in Philadelphia, the process worked.
It feels like we're getting fairly far from the process.
Doesn't matter.
Like who's left? That's the thing. Who's left?
The process. Joel.
Why was he see, that's where I disagree. He wasn't the process. He was just the only good one from the process.
Great. All time.
If Nerlens Noel was the best player, like you would have said he was the process. No.
Well, he actually legally is the process by trademark.
What do you mean?
Joel.
Oh, he trademarked that.
So it's legal.
So what's his nickname going to be in New York?
The results.
The New York. The New York. The NYC.
Imagine if he actually had a falling out with the Sixers, went to New York, and then unveiled a new trademark instead of the process. It was the results. I think I would cry.
We would win title with him.
I would cry.
Would you be pissed if we won a title with him?
I don't know. I don't care about the Knicks really.
Really?
I don't consider your fandom legitimate when it comes to the Knicks.
How? I cried last night when we lost.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No, you actually cried.
No.
That would be fucking embarrassing.
That would be wild.
Yeah, I wouldn't care. If Joel were to go anywhere, I'd probably root for him. Similar with you and Lamar.
Okay.
It's like
He's leaving though after the year. Him and Harden. You guys are about to reprocess.
From your mouth to God's ears, brother. Those were the days. Those were the fucking days.
All right, let's get Eagleson in. Excuse me. Let's get Eagleson in here. He's been waiting. Abe, let me give you a little friendly advice. Throw one of the headphones off so that way you can hear Eagleson.
But I don't want to.
That's fine. Then turn your volume up on the dash. Mr. Eagleson, what is going on?
What's up, fellas?
How we doing?
I just want to say, first off, thank you for being Xbox people. There's lots of PlayStation guys around now. I feel like a minority in that sense. All my friends have PlayStation.
If you're asking me to play with you, the answer is no.
There's no way you did you.
It seems like you have a bit of a skill issue, so I'm okay with that.
I'll take you for all you're worth on 9 holes in PGA.
I have not played a single PGA game, but I'll play you in Madden, Chell.
Also,
I'll kick your ass in 2K.
I'm calling Cat. Wait, why are you?
He just said he'd kick my ass in 2K. You know me.
You're not good at 2K.
Oh, stop.
You're not good. You're not good at 2K. But I cannot imagine you being good at video games, Eagleson.
Do you remember when we played NHL on a live stream, you and I? It was like 2 years ago now. It was
like
a long time
COVID
ago.
brain, that whole thing.
Yeah. I'm okay at Madden. I'm all right at NHL. I beat both of you guys, that's for sure. If that's what constitutes good.
All right, so what do you got for us? You just got
some what the puck. There's no fins today. That's Sunday, unfortunately. It is 1,101 days, though, if you're wondering.
It's 8,101? I think you just skipped 7,000 days.
8,000. No, it's actually more than that now.
It should be like 8,105.
Yeah, miscalculation.
Do me a
Let's
favor.
talk hockey. Screw that.
This is part of your job description. I'm going to get sign off from Boss Man right here. Can you go in and give a reminder in your phone that every morning tells you what day it is since the Finns last won a playoff game?
No, there's a Twitter account.
Well, okay. Can you turn on notifications, please?
Is that part of my job description?
And are you telling me that O'Reilly hasn't scored?
I'll talk about it in my what the puck. Something actually happened.
Name? Ryan O'Reilly. No, he's gonna talk about it. Let him talk. All right, here we go. What the puck in 3, 2, 1.
All right, so after a long and painful Western road trip, the rest of the Leaf season started for real on Tuesday when they had an awesome comeback win against one of the other big teams in the East in the New Jersey Devils. Matthews scored the game winner, just saying. But unfortunately for everyone, I guess, Ryan O'Reilly broke his hand blocking a shot. So he's likely going to be gone until a couple games before playoffs. They'll get him in just to get warmed up and everything, but no goals, no story posts, unfortunately for that. He's a veteran, so I'm not too worried. I want to talk about the Western Conference a little bit because that conference is garbage. They are begging for somebody to come in, make a move, try and win it, and nobody will do it. Lots of inconsistent play. No teams can seem to put together win streaks or anything. There is one team, though, who, if any of them are going to come out of it, I think it might be, and that's the Dallas Stars. People kind of forget they went to a Stanley Cup final like 2 to 3 years ago, not even that long ago. They've had playoff experience. They've had guys like, I see that face, it's true, Abe. Jason Robertson, a guy like him, a super young kid, come out and he's going to score 40 goals this year. Just crazy shit like that. I think they have a real shot to come out of a very weak West.
I got to program the Little John for...
Yeah, why can't we just get buttons?
Huh?
Why don't we just get buttons?
No, we can.
And like tape.
We can
noises.
for Finns. And,
What's worse, the Western Conference in the NHL or the NFC in the NFL?
The Western Conference is bad right now. Like, bad. I think it might be in the NHL. If you took the top 5 teams in the East and put them in the West, they would be the top 5 teams. Like, they beat every single one.
Yeah.
I think the NBA, 4 out of the top 5 teams Nuggets, are the Sixers, Bucks, Celtics, and
Knicks.
Well, you're not.
Cavs.
Yeah, and they all have more points than the top guys in the West.
That's crazy.
So
I don't really have much follow-up from that.
So, well, what I was going to say is it's March. When do you make your sweater cup pick?
When do the playoffs start, Eagleson?
So we got about 20 games left.
20 games. All right.
April.
Eagleson, set a reminder to make me make my pick next Wednesday for Thursday's episode.
Really?
Yeah.
Next Wednesday.
Okay. I need to do some research. We'll do it next What the Puck. I need to look at some sweaters and compare them to the odds and find the right guy. Who did Calgary was last year? They're not good this year, huh?
They're not going to make the playoffs this year. If like I said, the Stars, they have some nice jerseys. I'm not sure if you're much of a green guy, but I don't mind their sweaters.
No, fuck that. I hate
New
York
through.
fans.
The Jers.
Oh, I think I might be a McFraud guy.
No,
has he ever won a Stanley Cup?
Don't fucking do that.
He's gonna push through him and Embiid this year.
That's why they call him McFraud.
Oh,
yeah.
Or that's like
don't. Oh my god.
He's gonna call him McMickey Mouse after this year.
Oh, that's
that.
good.
I like that. All right. Well, make sure you guys subscribe to the pod on YouTube, on Apple.
Monday mailbag questions.
Monday mailbag in the Discord.
In the description.
For some reason, once people started asking, then we started getting questions. But it was after we recorded Sunday. So for Monday's episode, we'll definitely have that. But everyone have an amazing weekend. And we will talk to you on Monday. Much love. Botched. Botched.
Clip that.